Well, good day and welcome to episode 28 of The Driving Force presented by the Louisiana Transportation Research Center. My name is Todd Blunt. I'm joined today by my friend, colleague, and co-host, Garrett Wheat.
Good afternoon.
We're thrilled that you've chosen to join us here as we enter our second year of highlighting the people and projects driving change here in Louisiana transportation. For nearly 40 years, LTRC has merged the resources of state government and Louisiana universities to identify, develop, and implement new technology to enhance many critical aspects of the transportation system here in Louisiana and beyond. We are a uniquely positioned research and training center that works with other institutions not only across the United States, but as we'll learn today, other nations as well. And we're in for a real treat today as we kick off our second year. We're welcoming Associate Director of External Programs, Dr. Vijay Gopu. Dr. Gopu is a real trailblazer in the field of transportation research. He continues to lead LTRC to connect and partner with others in the field for the benefit of the transportation community across the state, the nation, and the world. And so we're looking forward to learning more about those partnerships over the next few minutes. We'll step away briefly before we dive into today's conversation. Well, welcome back to The Driving Force. We are delighted to welcome Dr. Vijay Gopu, LTRC's esteemed Associate Director of External Programs, to the show today. This is going to be a unique, fascinating conversation. We're thrilled to jump right into it. So welcome, Dr. Gopu.
Thank you.
Dr. Gopu, you have seen and done so much over the course of your distinguished career. We're just going to get a snapshot of it today, but can you give us an overview of how you got to where you are today?
Let me take you back to where it all began.
Yeah.
I earned my doctorate in structural engineering in 1975.
Okay.
That's 50 years ago. And most of the people I'm talking to now, well, perhaps not born at that time. After that, I spent 3 years as a consulting engineer in Denver. And I wanted to gain real-world experience and also earn my professional engineer license.
Yeah.
Before I took up any type of faculty position, because I'll have the necessary experience and training to be effective in the classroom, where I can impart both practical and theoretical knowledge to the students.
Yeah.
In 1978, LSU recruited me to join the civil engineering department. And my journey at LSU was transformative, to say the least. Yes. I had the opportunity to lead or co-lead about 30 research projects.
Wow.
And then I supervised, as an advisor, 39 graduate students who did their master's and PhD under my direction.
Wow.
Which was very, very satisfactory. When I came to LSU, the department had maybe 5 or 6 graduate students. And over the period that I was at LSU, we have seen that enrollment grow to 150 students over a 20-year period. From being a primarily teaching institution, we morphed into a research powerhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very satisfying to have that experience. After 20 years at LSU came a turning point in my life, and that is when the National Science Foundation selected me as the program director for structural engineering and structural materials program in the Directorate of Engineering. So this role did a couple of things. It gave me national exposure, and it also gave me the connection with leading researchers in the country. And it also allowed me to shape research priorities at the federal level.
Wow.
So that was very satisfying to me. And also, while at NSF, I had the opportunity to serve on several federal interagency, what I would say, groups. And so I interacted with other federal agencies as a representative of NSF in those agencies. And I served at NSF for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
And which was by itself rewarding. Then I accepted a chair position at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. In addition to being the chair, I was also the associate director for the University Transportation Center for Alabama, which was a collaborative effort with the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Okay.
So we had 3 sites. So that's when I got heavily involved with the university transportation program. After spending 3 years at University of Alabama in Huntsville, Tulane recruited me to serve as the chair of the civil engineering program. And this gave me an opportunity to come back to Louisiana,
Yes.
where I had deep roots, right? I worked there for 22 years at LSU, so it was very rewarding. I accepted it and moved to Tulane. What I found is, having served as the department chair at 2 universities in Alabama, that was a very rewarding experience. I understood how system and administrative systems work, and these 2 universities were definitely very good campuses. And one of them is R1, which is a Carnegie One institution. Another one is a research-intensive university also. So it was very good. And after Katrina, I accepted the Associate Director for External Programs position at LTRC.
Okay.
And
Coming back to LSU.
basically coming back to LSU. This was a dual appointment with Tulane.
Okay.
And then that was followed as a dual appointment with the UNO and then
gotcha.
UL Lafayette. So it's kind of migrated. What happened is this dual appointment made me the first engineering professor, tenured professor in the state of Louisiana to serve as a tenured professor at 4 Louisiana universities, which never happens, normally. So it was very rewarding in that sense. I worked at LSU and Tulane and UNO and UL Lafayette, all as a tenured full professor. That was very good. One of the reasons LTRC felt that I would be a good fit is because I had university administrative experience and I had the federal government experience, and then I worked with LTRC. LTRC was actually one of my funding agencies when I did my research. So that was one of the...
So you had lots of connections,
Lots of connections.
all over.
I would say my background got me where I am today.
So your responsibility here at LTRC, as we've kind of alluded to and mentioned already, is you oversee the external programs. Can you kind of share some insight on what are some of those groups that you work most closely with?
Yes, I would be glad to. As the Associate Director for External Programs at LTRC, my role is all about building partnerships and advancing the mission and goals of LTRC. That is my primary responsibility. What I do is I identify opportunities that exist at the national, regional, at state,
Global.
whatever level, or the private industry, in the broad area of transportation engineering, planning, management, and then I bring together faculty groups
Okay.
across universities, not just one university, but across the universities, both within the state and outside the state, to compete for these opportunities. That is what I do. And these groups shift depending upon what solicitation we are responding to. And it's not a static group. The groups change, and the group of universities that we select would depend upon the area that we're trying to respond to, and also the capabilities of these universities in that particular area.
So they're having to work closely together with each other.
Yes, they would be, because we identify and they each know one another, or they're willing to work with one another. And invariably, we engage our Louisiana universities, 1, 2, or 3, depending upon the capabilities. In some areas, for example, if you take safety, transportation safety, we had a professor at UL who was experienced, so we engage her. And if it's a different area, then we identify the faculty members and the institution. So we had Louisiana Tech and sometimes Southern University and what's that? Tulane, UNO, UL. All these universities participated in our efforts, in our groups.
But what I was getting at, it sounds more like they're cooperating rather than competing.
Yes, when we put these teams together, the submission goes from LTRC. Or
Right,
if
yeah,
we decide on another lead institution, it goes through that. But LTRC has a key role to play. And they have a distinct advantage with LTRC participation. One, it is very well recognized in the nation as a leading research center. So you get that benefit when you go through.
It gives you some instant credibility.
Yeah, the credibility. Suppose you say that I'm going to do this, you have to be credible. But there's a lot of credibility when it goes to LTRC because it is so closely tied with the Louisiana DOTD. For example, I'll give you one example. We responded to the University Transportation Center initiative, and we worked with 60 universities on different proposals. Wow. And if we were not credible, these 60 universities won't collaborate with us. And so I had to go to each group. I mean, depending upon the proposal, we submitted a proposal because we had to submit multiple proposals so that, it's a hit or miss, right?
Right.
So the odds of getting funded, you get 200 proposals, they perhaps fund, 10 centers. So we had to go after that. So it tells you the level of our involvement with these external groups. Now, when we're talking about external groups, there are a lot of external groups that we work with, and we are constantly looking for opportunities.
Well, if we dive just a bit deeper into the academic, the educational aspect of these programs, talk to us about how LTRC partners with faculty and students from Louisiana universities particularly, and why do you think that this partnership is so valuable?
I would say here's the reality. The total number of engineering faculty in all the universities in the state of Louisiana is smaller than the number of engineering faculty at a single institution in Texas, Florida, California.
Wow.
And so to compete nationally, we have to collaborate. We have absolutely no choice because we are not credible otherwise. So LTRC provides a mechanism for collaboration because if UNO wants to go on its own, it's going to be a challenge because it's a small institution, and then now we are going to compete with Texas A&M and UT Austin. It's going to be a real challenge. So that's an issue that we have to understand. The attraction all our state universities have working with LTRC is that we do not charge overhead. When a grant comes in, we provide the funding to the university without taxing the grant for our own purpose. That's one. Two, LTRC takes the initiative of supplying or providing supplemental funding if it's needed.
Okay.
Which, if a university goes after it, they cannot provide supplemental funding. They're looking for funding. So there is a lot of attraction for the universities to work with us or go through us. And faculty throughout the state, they look at LTRC as the premier center for transportation research support, period. You ask anyone, they always constantly look to LTRC for transportation research funding and support. And we extend that even further by telling them, okay, if you form teams and you want to compete, we'll help you.
Yeah.
Which is a great benefit to the universities. And through our partnership, we have graduate students who gain hands-on experience. And many that go on to strengthen our Louisiana engineering workforce. It is a lot easier for us to recruit a graduate student who is in state rather than chasing a student from California or Michigan or New York. It's not going to be that easy to recruit them, right?
Yeah.
LTRC is also mentioned as one of the only U.S. state DOT research entities that has been declared as a qualified research funding recipient from the NSF, as you've alluded to a little bit already. Can you explain how that came to be and why that distinction is significant? And also, what opportunities does it afford to us as a center?
To be candid, one of my proudest achievements was helping LTRC become the only Department of Transportation Research Center in the country qualified by the National Science Foundation.
That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I'm not bragging, but I think it was very, very good to get for LTRC to get the recognition. Of course, I had a lot of help. And what happened is, the genesis of this is in 2014, we submitted a proposal. I submitted a proposal through LTRC for about $350,000. And the proposal was reviewed, and it was selected for funding. And when it came to funding, NSF realized that LTRC is not a qualified institution. So if you're not qualified in their system, you cannot be funded. So then the issue came up. Then what we did, we got to work, and we had to generate over 1,000 pages of documentation to NSF. NSF reviewed that and then granted us that qualified status. It took a lot of effort. It was not, and then once they got that, once we were qualified, then NSF was good enough to give us the award. Though it took us several months, we were hopeful that we would get it, but there was no guarantee. So this opens up the door tremendously. Faculty members now can submit a proposal to their own institution, which all institutions are eligible to submit, but they can also submit it through LTRC.
Yeah.
You get two benefits. That is, one, we review the proposal and we give you extremely valuable feedback.
Yeah.
And two, if you need supplemental funding, then you can approach us, because that's going to be our project.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't keep any money. It's given back to you, but you go through us and you get the benefit. This is what we offer. The benefits are we get supplemental funding, proposal review, and guidance. Because I worked at NSF, so I can
You know
provide
what they're
guidance
looking
to
for.
sure you tick off all those boxes properly, and you address intellectual merit, broader impacts, and all these items have to be checked.
You could also probably be a filter and let them know if something wouldn't be a good fit for NSF.
Yes, we tell them this is not a good fit, and you have to be very careful, because NSF normally doesn't fund transportation because they consider that a domain of DOT. But there are some proposals which are in science and fundamental studies which can be funded by NSF.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So faculty members can come to us and get the support. And we still are helping through our external program. We're helping faculty members to submit proposals to their institutions, provided one of our LTRC members are involved. And the University of Louisiana, got a $350,000 award. That was completely based on the help we provided. See, right now, LTRC has the same standing as any major institution in the eyes of NSF, because we are a qualified recipient. Which is,
That's big.
I went to TTI once, Texas Transportation Institute. When they heard that they were little jealous. If they hear this podcast, that's true. They really respect LTRC standing. We're a small organization compared to TTI, which has 1,000 people, but we are only much smaller number. But it doesn't matter. We do things which are a little different.
That's awesome. Let's talk about one specific partnership. One of the most exciting initiatives in this area of external programs is LTRC's partnership with the University of San Jose Recoletos in Cebu City, the Philippines. So tell us how this connection came about, and along with what's on the horizon for it, and if there's other things on the horizon in other countries across the world, we'd love to hear about that.
LTRC has expanded now internationally. The thing at the University of San Jose Recoletos came up is because of Dina Capone, who's our LTAP director. And so she encouraged that she was very interested that we explore opportunities of collaborating with this university. And they showed a lot of interest, and we were excited, and then LTRC signed a memorandum of understanding in 2013. And they're benefiting with the partnership. Right now, it is not equal basis, right? So they're benefiting because we're providing them webinars and with experts that we have access to. And some of these experts, there's no cost to the institute, to us or the institution, because these experts like us.
Sure.
And they respect whether LTRC is asking them to give a webinar. We gave 2 webinars in the composites area that was very well attended by engineers and professionals all over Philippines.
Wow.
And then we also invite them to participate in conferences where it's also being broadcast. So we tell them, here is the log-on ID, you can go ahead and join, and we invited them for a couple of those conferences. One of the things which we're pursuing is we want to have researchers from this university to come and spend a little time here with us and work with us. And for that, it's a little bit of a challenge. Even if we get federal funding, we cannot provide travel support. Travel support has to be provided by the home institution.
Okay.
And if we get, we can pursue NSF funding or other agencies. If they provide us funding, we can only provide lodging and boarding. So that's what we are going after. And I delivered a keynote, Garrett is aware of that, made a keynote presentation at one of the conferences. And I didn't go in person, but they recorded it and then they played it at the conference, which was really good. They had about 250 odd people at the conference. So we are doing the best we can.
Yeah.
And I'm planning to make a visit to strengthen the collaboration we're having with them. Another thing I did before COVID was I visited Vietnam.
Okay.
And the universities of technology, both in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, they're very interested in collaborating with, in having an MOU with us. The problem is when the COVID came, the bottoms fell off. So that, but I plan to reestablish that relationship and have that. And incidentally, University of San Jose has only one international MOU, and that is with us. Same with Vietnam.
Wow.
They don't have any MOU with any U.S. university. They're interested with us because our reputation has spread a little bit beyond borders. So these people look at it and they say, oh, this is a good institution for us to partner with.
Very cool.
So I think the next step is strengthen our collaboration with the Philippines University and also try to pursue with the Vietnam University.
Last kind of question would be, is there anything else you would like our listeners to know about some of the work you're doing on a day-to-day basis, or just anything that's in the interest of the transportation community at large?
It's kind of a mix of proposal review, faculty mentoring, and program management. When I talk about program management, not only this, I also handle the TIRE program, which is Transportation Innovation and Research Exploration. So I'll get to that. When we talk about program management, for example, in 2025, this year, 2025, we got a $3 million EPA award, planning grant, which is for electrification of our 32 plus ports of Louisiana. And this was facilitated by LTRC to a great degree. One, the proposal that was submitted by Louisiana DOTD was put together by a university team. This award would not have been possible if LTRC was not involved, because we are managing the award. That's very critical. DOTD headquarters is not managing, LTRC is managing because we're involved and we have direct relationship with all the universities.
Yeah.
Now we have a cooperative agreement with all the universities, which makes it very easy.
Right.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. I'm just giving you an example. Another one is much earlier, 15, 16, 10 years back, we submitted we helped DOTD in a proposal for railway safety grant. And the total funding for the country was about 11 million, and we got 10%. And we are 1% of the country population, and we got 10% of the funding. And we try to do the best. I think there were multiple proposals that went through, which were reviewed, and we provided the input and make sure that the proposals are competitive, even if it goes through the headquarters. So we are doing that.
Yeah.
So, we are involved in multiple ways, and that's what your day-to-day looks like. Something or the other comes up, and then you have to address it. Another thing I do is we offer faculty at all universities proposal writing workshops, so that the proposals submitted to NSF or any agencies become very competitive. and I hold town hall meetings at the universities
Okay.
to let them know what is LTRC and what are the opportunities for working with us and getting funding from LTRC. One of the things is I talked to you about the TIRE program, Transportation Innovation Research Exploration Program. We support young faculty. I manage that program, and we support about 4 to 5 young faculty members, junior faculty members. Senior faculty members are not eligible to get the money. And the junior faculty members, we encourage them to submit proposals, and we have a review panel within LTRC, and we fund about 4 or 5 depending upon the money that's available. Over the past 20 years since I joined LTRC, we have supported over 90 young faculty members, and that is oftentimes their first grant.
Wow.
And it kicks off their career.
Yeah.
And some of them have been able to leverage that one-year award to get larger funding from another agency. So that's what we kickstart. And so LTRC is investing in these young
Love that.
faculty members. And all the universities recognize that. Every university recognizes the value of the TIRE program and what LTRC brings to the table for their institution. And actually, I'm serving as kind of a liaison between the faculty in the area of engineering and LTRC, and sometimes the administration and LTRC. And not only engineering, but it's also science, arts and humanities, all these areas I'm trying to serve as a liaison. If they have a question, I communicate, because I've been involved with 4 universities already.
Yeah, you have those relationships.
So I have
those
the
connections.
relationship, so I can pick up the phone and call most of these people. So I'm not a stranger to some of them. At the end of the day, my mission at LTRC is very clear. Secure funding, build partnerships, and strengthen transportation research in Louisiana for the benefit of the citizens of Louisiana.
Sounds like you're doing that.
Yeah, I'd say so. Thank you so much, Dr. Gopu, for being here with us today. Just for taking the time to highlight so many of the different happenings in transportation research around Louisiana and beyond. Really a joy and a privilege for us to spend these few minutes with you. We do want to have a little bit of fun with you. Before we go, Garrett has prepared a couple of what we call lightning round questions to help our listeners get to know you a little bit better. So he's going to kick these off. Don't think too hard about these.
So you kind of alluded to this already, that you've traveled a good bit. We know you've got a lot of stamps in your passport. Can you tell us what's your favorite vacation destination?
My favorite, destination-wise, my favorite would be Italy.
Italy.
Italy, and the second would be New Zealand.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to New Zealand.
Yeah,
That's a
second
cool
would be New
place.
Zealand. I have been to 45, 46 countries.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And then I have traveled about 2.5 million miles. And I think on Delta, I flew over 2.3 million miles. And I said, when can you name the plane after me? They said, sir, you have to fly 7 million miles. I said, I'll be gone by then. But it's been very rewarding. It's one of the things I invest in my own personal money is in travel.
Yeah.
And travel for
Not only for you, but for your family.
for the family. And also, I travel when I make it along with a conference or something like that. So I get some professional benefit from traveling.
Sure.
So most of these countries I went to, you go to Morocco, you have to find a good conference. So it's not for the tax benefit. Nowadays we can't get any tax, but I still go there. And one, it exposes the institution I'm affiliated with. And it has been, in that sense, it's rewarding.
Can you tell us a little bit about this slide you have built for your grandkids that's inside of your house?
Yes. Oh, my grandkids wanted a slide. I have a 2-story home, and then there's one staircase where I could put the slide. And I built that in 2 nights. I'm proud of it. because it took me some time to design it, and then I love woodworking.
Okay.
And so my background is strong in the wood area, so I knew how to put this together, and they built it. They have really enjoyed it. So I built that in 2014. Unfortunately, I lost one of my granddaughters, and the other two, they still, when they come home, one is 16 and one is 14. They want to have the slide. I said, "You're 16. Why do you need a slide?" No, because they pretty much grew up with the slide when they come home, when they come to our house. So I built that. So it's fun.
That's great.
It's interesting because the house is such that I could put the slide, and then you need to have something anchor it, at the top of the slide to hold it, and then I have that too. Fortunately.
That's great.
Last question.
Yeah.
You have developed quite a reputation for yourself here at LTRC as a poet. Can you tell us when and how you developed an interest in your creative writing?
Yeah, I think this is very interesting, and then I'm going to be very candid. I lost my granddaughter to cancer, and then I was supposed to give an eulogy at the funeral home, and for some reason it looked like it was a gift from her. Every word I wrote, it looked like somebody else was telling me.
Wow.
And then I wrote the eulogy for her. It started with that.
Yeah.
And then I write a poem for her every year on her birthday.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And she passed away in 21. I've written a poem for her every year. And during that period, that's when I acquired the talent. I mean, it's amazing. Because I never wrote poems. Why would you write poems? But when she passed away, it hit me so hard. It hit me so hard. I put the words, and that's how I became a poet. And it was like a gift from another, I would say, another dimension.
Sure.
So the words came to me. I just could not believe. I was at my daughter's house, and then I went to a media room, and then I started putting it on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the poems, and then since then I've written several poems, particularly for people who are retiring, and then I tried to write something humorous.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was a gift. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not it was a gift, because prior to that, I never wrote poems.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, very meaningful. Thank you. We really appreciate your time and everything that you share with us today. I know I speak for Garrett and for our whole LTRC team. We say we're really humbled and proud to be associated with the fine work that you're doing for the transportation community as a whole. So we're going to take one more quick break before we come back to wrap up today's episode. Well, that's all we have for you on episode 28 of The Driving Force, presented by the Louisiana Transportation Research Center. You can learn more about what's happening at LTRC on a daily basis, as well as many of the partnerships we've learned about over the past few minutes, by visiting us online at ltrc.lsu.edu or on social media through Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We encourage you to like, follow, and subscribe to our channels on each of these platforms. We hope you'll join us next time as we begin another Research Highlights series. This time we'll be focusing on the work of our Special Studies Group with Research Administrator Dr. Julius Kajo. We'll hear about transportation safety, traffic engineering, emerging technologies, planning and policy, and a whole lot more. So until then, we are your hosts, Garrett Wheat and Todd Blunt. We thank you so much again for joining us today. Drive safely out there.